Following video contains some very disturbing material. It's definitely not suitable for everybody to watch. There are some people who are going to be pretty bothered by the things I talk about in this video. So if you're somebody with, you're susceptible to disturbing videos really bothering you, this one is probably not the best one for you. So I'm just giving you a warning. That's why I'm not doing my regular intro. But this is stuff that has to be talked about. And I'm hoping it's going to really wake a few people up to the severity of what pharmakia is all about. It's even worse than I've mentioned so far. So, pharmakia is sorcery through drugs. I've talked about it in several videos now. The evil ones, if we look at it politically, it's the left. Have you ever noticed they're total abortion fanatics? Okay, they absolutely adore abortion. At the Democratic National Convention, the DNC they call it, think about this. They actually had an abortion truck outside at a convention, okay? It's like a celebration, a gathering for the whole political party. They set up an abortion truck outside. And when they're on the stage talking to the audience, they're like, yeah, there's an abortion truck outside, so get your abortion today. They're cheering for it, okay? They're literally on the stage saying, let's kill all kinds of unborn babies. Let's do that. So the people we're talking about here, you have to realize what we're dealing with. These people are sicker and more demented than you can probably even fathom in your brain, especially if you're a Christian. You will have a hard time understanding this level of evil. I did for a long time. I couldn't fathom it. But I immersed myself in the study of what the evil ones are doing for quite a few years. And one day, the level of evil just smacked me in the face. It's like, wow. It is disturbing and downright depressing to discover exactly how bad the evil is. So for anyone who thinks the Dark Kingdom is just a myth, by the end of this video, you'll probably see that's not the case. Pretty much has to be a Dark Kingdom for this level of evil to take place. Okay? So why are they so raw for abortion? There's several reasons. One, it's literally a human sacrifice. If you read the Bible even, there was human sacrifices going on way back. There's a pagan god called Moloch that people would sacrifice their children to. When they perform an abortion, that's what they're still doing. They're sacrificing to that same pagan god. His name is Moloch. Now, it gets worse, if you can believe that. They're pokey pokes, and they're pharmakia. They're pills, poison pills. And this could be any pills they make, okay? This is probably right across the board. They want to cause a spiritual mess for you. So they literally take fetal tissue from these abortions. It goes in the pokey pokes. It goes in the pills. They put human blood in there. It's another witch's brew. But this one has very serious spiritual implications for the people who take them. You're a cannibal when you take your pills. You're literally being a cannibal. They make sure there's human matter in all the pills and pokey pokes. Okay? Pretty twisted, eh? Pretty twisted. This is how, in some places, Christians can get an exemption. In most places, they've banned the exemptions. It's like, no, that's dangerous for everybody. Everybody's going to die if you get an exemption from the pokey poke. Yeah. Yeah. But in some places where there's still a little bit of legitimacy left, this is how a Christian can get an exemption from a pokey poke. Because it's completely against your religion to consume a part of another human. It's sick, demented, and, like I say, a spiritual disaster. Not a good thing. Not at all. And this is what they're tricking people into doing. So after you take something like that, demonic activity will begin. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's not only that you've upset the Lord by relying on pharmakia instead of relying on Him. It's that you're literally doing the same thing that a cannibal does. And it just creates, like I say, the most spiritual disaster you can. It's all bad, okay? It's all bad. So the people who come to me, maybe 60, 70% are immersed in pharmakia. They've had those. They've popped pills. And they can't understand why they're experiencing so much demonic activity. This is why. This is why. It's the most sick, demented bunch of people, demon-infested people, I will add. You have to be demon-infested to do this. So this is why there was a truck set up outside the DNC. This is why they want to open up abortion clinics everywhere possible. This is why when anybody threatens the idea of abortion being legal, they go nuts, gnash their teeth like a bunch of demons, because they are a bunch of demons. And this, folks, can ruin your spiritual life in a big way. Not to mention the fact that the pharmakia, the witches brew they've whipped up, is designed to do all kinds of other stuff besides. All kinds of other stuff. It's the most evil there is on the planet. Is the pharmaceutical industry, the harmaceutical industry, like I call it. It's big harma. Big harm is right. Plenty of harm. Harm all around. Science, which doesn't really exist. It's a bunch of people wearing white coats, taking bribes, saying what they're told. That's all that is. Journalists, which again are not journalists. They shouldn't be called journalists. They're disgusting, lying agents of the devil. That's all they are. Tonight's show brought to you by that thing that rhymes with wiser. Used to be so sick of hearing that. Tonight's show brought to you by. Everything brought to you by that. It's because there's an unlimited amount of money being generated. They're pharmakia. So most of the work I have to do with people involves convincing them that these pills are poison and a spiritual disaster. And once they realize it, they want to stop real badly. And most of them have a severe withdrawal syndrome. And I mean severe. They make it that way on purpose. They don't want you to be able to just stop. So they design them so they'll bind to your receptors. And once they bind to your receptors, some of them bind to the GABA receptors. Others will bind to other receptors. Some of them bind to several receptors. That's what makes something have a physical withdrawal syndrome. SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. The worst poison out there. The worst poison out there. I'm not suggesting you do this, but you're literally better off on street drugs than you are on those. They're worse than anything on the street. For messing you up spiritually. If you're near ready for a breakthrough, but you're on those, sorry, your breakthrough is not going to happen. Your breakthrough will not happen. They are guaranteed to mess everything up. Now, because they have this withdrawal syndrome, people are terrified to stop. But the Lord will deliver you from it. And I haven't really mentioned this on this channel yet. But that's what the Lord has been training me for. Deliverance. And I've been doing it. And it's been happening. I'm not doing it. The Lord is doing it. He just needs me to sit here, do the talking to the person. And then there's a point where that person starts to cry and wail and off it goes. And I know it started, but it's not me doing it. I'm just sitting here waiting for it. The Lord kicks it in and gets it into gear, and off it goes. And He's delivering these people from these pills. Or neutralizing the pokey poke. This thing. So the way He let me know this, that I was going to be doing this, I haven't really talked about this in a long time. He gave me a dream. I used to drive a truck for a building supply place, a delivery truck. That's what I did. So He gave me this dream over and over just recently. I mean, I haven't driven that delivery truck. I don't know how long. I had it night after night after night after night. I was driving the delivery truck. And I couldn't understand what that was about. I was delivering stuff. And finally it clued in. I was actually in the middle of a session with somebody. They were being delivered right in front of me. And then I realized, oh, wow. That's why I dreamt about the delivery truck over and over and over. So that's what this channel and this ministry is about. And it's mostly because of pharmakia. That's what people are being delivered from. Now, there's one more topic I'm going to just scratch the surface of. Do not go to any fast food place, especially McDonald's or Burger King or the really well-known ones. Do not go there. Guess what they're serving there, folks? You're right if you're thinking humans. Yep. See the level of evil, I mean? Level of evil is so far beyond what people can even fathom. This is how the Dark Kingdom is trying to trap everybody in the worst spiritual mess possible by making everybody be cannibals, and they're not knowing it. They have no idea. Stay away from the McRib. For sure. For sure. That's the one I know definitely is human. A woman went to a Chinese takeout place. And there was a human jaw in her food. A whole chunk of, there was a row of teeth. The whole thing. It was clearly a human. Some problem when they grinded the person up, I guess. They messed up and let a whole chunk of the person's jaw into the food. So now you see why the warning at the beginning of this video. Many people won't accept what I'm saying. Many people are going to say, you're fear-mongering, and they're going to say all kinds of things to me. I don't care what anybody says to me. I don't listen to humans. I only listen to the Lord. It's the only person I listen to, not person. That's the only one I listen to. If he tells me to talk about something, I will. You can tell me not to talk about it all you want. I don't care. I really don't. People think they're going to leave comments and correct me and tell me how I'm going to run this channel and how I'm going to run my ministry. Except, that's not going to happen. I'm going to do what the Lord instructs me to do. And he wants everyone to know not to go to McDonald's, not to roll up their sleeves, and to get delivered by him, not by me. A deliverance minister doesn't do anything. He's there to be the mouthpiece. That's it, to do the talking. The Lord is there and does it all. So if anybody thinks, and the comments have been coming about how I think I'm this guru, I think I'm a god, and I don't think none of that. I say it all the time. The Lord does it all. I don't do it. I don't get the power to do that. I haven't got any power. I'm a human. Humans don't have squat for power, including me. I have none. But the Lord decided I'm a good vessel for him to flow through and make things happen. So he's chosen me for that purpose. That's my purpose. That's what I'm on earth for. For the rest of my life, I think I'm going to be doing this. And like I said, it's all because of this pharmakia that's infested the whole world from one end to the other. Everybody's so deceived. I got to get my pills. What do I do with my pills? You'll live a fine, happy life and you'll be closer to God is what you'll do. What will you do with the pills? Be separated from God. They're specially designed to separate you from God. They forced pokey pokes on the Hopi tribe. They're a Native American tribe, right? Everybody's heard of the Hopi. Well, as soon as they forced that on them, and they really resisted, but they made them do it, they threatened them and everything, threatened to take the kids into custody. It was really dirty what they did. So eventually the Hopi had no choice, and they agreed to it. They lost their ability to lucid dream instantly. And that's how they guide their lives. That's how they guide their lives, by the lucid dreams that the Lord gives them. They took that away from them with their pharmakia. The dark kingdom is real. And they want to put a stamp of ownership on you. And if you fall for their pharmakia trick, you're making it possible. And if you go to McDonald's, you're making it possible. So be very, very cautious, folks. Another thing, blood donor clinics. Do not go to one. Do not go to one. Your blood is not being used the way you think it is. It's being used in various other ways that would disturb you even more than what I've already told you in this video. So definitely stay away from there. I know a guy in the UK who went there. Well, he told me, it's actually a funny story because he called them a bunch of vampires. They didn't like that very much. That's what they are. And I actually mean that literally. So that is enough disturbing material for one video. There's plenty in this one. Sorry if that was disturbing to learn. I promise you it's all true. I wish it wasn't. But that's what we're dealing with. Okay? You got to know what you're dealing with. And that's how bad it is. So, I will leave it there. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you're not totally disturbed and curled up in the fetal position by now. And remember that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.